What's up, you guys? Godzilla Fan Freaks coming at you today with another figure review. And today we are going to be taking a look at the Bandai Movie Monster Series newly released Ebirah. Yes, this is Ebirah's first, Ebirah or Ebirah, however you want to pronounce it. This is his first Bandai figure appearance, mold, sculpt. We've never had Ebirah in Bandai, but now we do. Take a quick look at the tag here. Instead of a colored tag, they decided to go with the monochrome, which I actually don't mind all that much. Nice classic shot of Ebirah that we all know very well. Him just up in the air, tail going, getting flinged. Yeah, all good to go there. Got Ebirah in the Japanese kanji, 1966, and then you have his name spelled out in English down there. On the back side, just a little bit more. There's the title of the movie Monster Series. Open it up. All your legal jargon, mumbo jumbo. And that's about it for the tag, but still very nice tag regardless. Set that off to the side, and now let's take a look at Ebirah himself here. Great turnaround here, Bandai. Bandai was scaring a lot of people with quality, and not the sculpts. The sculpts were fantastic, but some of the paint applications and paint jobs that they were doing on these figures. Varan, very plain figure. At least with Ebirah here, I was like, man, watch us just get a giant, lobster, shrimp, crustacean, and he's just a red. He's just all red, like no color, no depth, no anything. But Bandai turned it around here, and this just goes to show you how it may not be a lot, but how far just a little bit of dry brushing can bring out detail and can just make a figure all that much more better. All Bandai really did, other than the base color, let's just talk about paint application since we're there. The base color for Ebirah here is just a very nice, brick red. It's nothing too vibrant, it's nothing too dark, it's right where it needs to be. And that is the color of the mold of the vinyl used. And they could have totally just left it that way. They didn't have to add this other glossy red here for the eyes. They didn't have to add all this black, dry brushing, shading all over the figure. They didn't. They could have just left it red, and that's what I mean is just this black dry brushing that's all over the body just makes this figure pop. It makes it look good. So again, you just have this black kind of dry brushing throughout the whole sculpt of the figure. And it just looks fantastic. All the way around. None on the undercarriage, but that's okay. All the way around though, it looks fantastic and just makes the details of the mold pop all that much more. Just looks great. Again, his eyes are a much brighter, glossier red, so that looks really nice. And that just about does it for paint and colors. Simple, but miles above the Varan figure. That's all I will say. Detail wise, again, if it wasn't for some of this black dry brushing throughout, you wouldn't be capturing a lot of those details, in my opinion. They would be there, but they'd be really flat. I mean, just look at the underside. Just think now if the underside here had some of those blacks going on, especially around like this fur and mouth detail. So I mean, just look at that versus when you look at it this way. I feel it would have benefited if they did just a little bit on the bottom here. It would have brought all this out just a little bit better, because it just looks too flat. But detail-wise, very good there. Very nice lobster crustacean tail for sure. Got all this fur and everything down here. Tail, all the lines and everything. Very, very nicely well done and etched in. His very bumpy and spiky back, all of those look great. His long antenna here are of course attached to the mold itself. They're not like a separate piece, but that's okay. Those still look good running across the body. The eyes and the face and the smaller antenna down here, fantastic. Claws, of course Ebirah has his big claw here. He's kind of an awkwardly shaped figure, so I apologize for my camera going in and out of focus. It's just the way he's shaped. He's a very odd figure to review. But very nice, you know, big claw there. And then his little smaller piercer claw. Hand trick's not even really working on it. There it goes. Looks good. Nice little curve wave to it. Looks really, really good. Again, underside here, all his little two-toed feet. Everything looked good. Again, you have all this hair, fur detail up here, and then you have Ebirah's mouth right there. Overall, looks really, really good. One thing I did notice, so on the claw here, you see how this side has the black, you know, dry brushing here and there. So they have it on this side, so you look at this side and then compare it to the inside. What looks better? The outside, right? See how far just a little black dry brushing goes? So I might actually get a black to match this, and I might go over like the insides of his claws. You know what? Just so it looks well-rounded. Because I actually just noticed that the dry brushing is on the outsides of the claws, but is nowhere to be seen on the insides. And it just looks poor. It looks lazy. So again, it's such a minor paint, and you wouldn't think it would do much, but it does a lot for this figure. So I might get a black to match that, and I might even go over his underside and whatnot. You know, that is something I feel confident in myself, because you really can't mess up dry brushing like this. I mean, unless you do too much, but in reality, the way the technique is and everything, and I'm not really an artist, that's more of like Yosh's category and everything like that, but I've done some dry brushing, and it is a very simple process. You really can't mess it up, especially on something like this. Articulation, really, really basic. I mean, you know, he's basically just your average vinyl figure. He doesn't really have a hook of a lot. His arms, you know, rotate around that way. That's it. His arms just rotate up, rotate down, you know, at a side, and that's basically it. Nothing in the tail, nothing in the legs. You know, Ebirah is very limited. As far as size and scaling goes next, how about we size him up with, of course, everybody's favorite Bandai, the 1968 Godzilla. Have to bring my camera up just a little bit. There we go. So here he is. He'll scale in well with, of course, anything in 6-inch. So, you know, anything Bandai related that's in the 6-inch scale, he's going to look good with. That's all I can tell you, you know. And as for a little treat here, since I have the figure, here comes the 50th anniversary memorial box, Godzilla 1965-66. You know, it could double as both. Just so we have that Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, you know, frame. You know what I mean? Like, these figures just look excellent, you know. Get your hand. I don't know. But there's your Godzilla versus the Sea Monster lineup comparison with Bandai. And these figures look great. You know, I'm glad to have another, you know, sea monster representation here with both these figures now. It's nice to have both of them in Bandai form. So it's like I got X Plus, and now I have Bandai. Love Godzilla vs. Sea Monster. Anyway, so there's those size comparisons. He will fit in well with anything 6-inch. And that about does it for the figure review, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like always, we are Godzilla Fan Freaks. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to like and follow Godzilla Fan Freaks over on Facebook. Don't forget to follow Godzilla Fan Freaks over on Instagram. That way you stay up to date with everything going on. Kaiju Chill O'Clock shows, Tucson Kaiju Festival, all that good stuff. And without further ado, you guys, this was my review on the Bandai Movie Monster Series Ebirah. Hope you guys enjoyed. We are Godzilla Fan Freaks, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.